probably higher than most people's here. So, you know, it's definitely one of those things, but I feel like we all have that responsibility to try to keep the city, you know, within their means, and we're not doing that in these funds right now.
I do understand the need for us to keep having the clean water that we have to drink, the sewer that works. I just think at the end of this term, we're gonna see a lot more water shut off. I think so, and it's not, it is our problem, but it's not our problem.
Right.
You know, I mean, somebody's gonna have to cut back somewhere to pay us for clean water and sewers at work.
Well, and that was also kind of, not to politicize the entire thought process, but with my choice of years and where I came to my conclusion was this would get us past the current administration, and maybe things would look different in the economy at the end of that term. And so, you know, good or bad or otherwise, we'll be able to look at what that next 4 years looks like and make decisions at that point after 25. Maybe the economy slows down, maybe it goes up, but at least this gets us to where from then to now, or from now to then, that we need to be. So, I mean, I see what you're saying. Everything's going up, everything's getting higher. I went to the grocery store today, and you know, it is horrid.
It's weekly.
It is. It's awful. But again, I feel like it's a card that we've been dealt, that we have to be able to live within our means within the city.
Well, as I said last week, we have to tighten our belt too here. And I'm gonna say in every meeting until it gets tightened. We're gonna cut some holes in belts and get them tight. So people who are writing your budgets, you better sharpen your pencil. All of you.
Did you make a motion on it?
No, I haven't, but if nobody else has any other one thing they want to consider, I'll make a motion to do an 8% increase in the water rate and the sewer rate in years 23, 24, and 25 with a review in rate in 2025.
May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Taylor. Aye. Alderman Beaver.
Aye.
Alderman Sy.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have the Veterans Memorial Update. Administrator Stolberg.
You may have noticed that the Veterans Memorial is no longer out there. We have relocated it to a safe place until we can get the base and the foundation done in its rightful place. I will like to thank Jason and his crew for doing that and going out of their way to preserve the handprints of those who were no longer with us. It was something that they took personally and took to heart, and I want to thank them for that.
I as well. Next, we have the banner program update.
I moved my paper. Moved my cheese. Okay. We do have the banner program pretty much set up. We have bids from 2 of our vendors, and if I can find them. The first bid is from Williams Electric. I tried to get a hold of him earlier today and get a clarification on one of the prices on there, the installation, one new banner for $130. I haven't gotten anything back from them yet. But with 61 banners, that makes it not 1960, but well, it's a lot of money. It's close to $9,000 for the 61 banners. So I wanted to get a clarification from him on that. I will say that the Barnstormers bid came in a little bit less than the 1960 that Williams did say here. That rate of $65 and the quantity of 24, I wanted to explain that is an hourly rate, not a per banner rate. So they expect it to take about 24 man-hours to get the banners removed and reinstalled at a rate of $65 per hour. And their rates here are pretty agreeable as far as what they have here. The one thing that they did leave open is if they had to rent on a reinstallation or a reinstallation of multiple banners, if they had to rent a lift, they don't know what the lift will be, and since this is going to be a 2-year contract, they didn't want to put a figure in there and then, that's hard. It was free. That's all I can say. So they didn't want to put a final price in there because they didn't want to be held to that and risk losing money on having to rent it. And that's a reasonable request. So I don't know if you wanted to go ahead and do this. One thing I will say is that Williams Electric has worked with the city on a number of occasions, and I'm sure that they will work with us on a number more. They've got a couple of enterprises going on that it's not like they're going to lose a lot of business if they don't get this contract. Barnstormers apparently has worked with us before and done a good job, so I wouldn't be opposed to moving forward with Barnstormers' proposal.
Well, they're also putting 24 hours of labor in there, which 61 banners, there's not too many banners to take down, just hardware, so 24 hours is a really good timeline on that as well.
So do we feel like with this number, I don't know if I have seen the cost for the new banners and that program. I don't remember it, which could totally be my fault. But it's been a while since we've talked about that. So do we feel like with this number that's going to basically that the fund will fund itself, like the banner sponsorship fee will then cover the cost for the re-inspection and maintenance and all of that?
I do believe that with everything as it stands now, I do believe that this will allow us to make it a self-funding and not cost the city any money.
And then which department is going to oversee that paperwork and contacting them, setting up new installations and all of those things?
Right now, Dana has been the primary source on that, and now that we have a new administrative assistant, she can certainly take that on and take the ball and run with it.
You said you believe it will fund itself. Can you guarantee it will fund itself?
I can't guarantee anything. I do believe that with the previous numbers of people who requested banners and the previous banner program, as ill-fated as it was with the banners falling and needing repair and so on, I think this one is a lot better put together. It's a lot better organized. It's got a better banner, one that's gonna last longer and not have to be replaced. And I do strongly feel that it will be a self-supporting.
Do you have a price of what it will cost for an individual to purchase a banner?
Right now, it's for those who have previously ordered banners from last year, it's $150. And new banners is, I think it's $275, is it not? Yes, it's $275.
And that covers 1 year of the banner being up or 2?
That's a 2-year program.
How many banners have you sold at 150?
We can't run it until we go out right away with the deadline of mid-November for the first one when and if this is approved.
So then do you expect given the fact that we're outsourcing that installation, do you think that term, that 2-year term will start in January of '23? Or, I mean, since we're already mid-October,
I'm
what are you
expecting
thinking?
it to start in November or
November.
at the latest December.
Okay.
Yes.
The goal would be to have those red banners going down Main Street by Christmas time.
So I'll make the motion that we accept the Barnstormers bid for the banner program, and that we move forward with that program until such time that it is not self-funding, at which time the program will come under review or be dissolved.
I'll second that.
May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Sykes?
Aye.
Alderman Dean? Alderman Salmon? Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have the St. Clair Downtown Monument. Jason, were you guys able to drill those holes today?
No, we'll do that tomorrow. We're gonna go rent the core drill in the morning and we'll go drill it tomorrow.
So along city staff and I-44 Truck Center are going to work together on boring holes through the concrete base, which is about 2.5 feet in the ground.
Yep.
And they are going to pick it up and move it as one whole piece to the airport until we get that place developed. And they are shooting to do that on Thursday of this week.
Will they just backfill it and seed it, straw it, or what is going, like, it's in the ground, right? So it's gonna leave a hole, so then are we just filling it in with dirt and going to, I mean, put something over it?
Yeah, we'll just fill it with dirt and then it's
Okay.
mulch right there.
Oh, okay,
So we'll
perfect.
probably just get a couple bags of mulch.
Couple bags of mulch.
Over top of it and just leave it for the time being.
Perfect. I was just thinking as people walk through there at the we don't want it to be a
Yeah,
big
we
muddy
definitely don't want
mess.
people falling in.
Well, yeah, but even just if we cover it with mulch, I think that would help in
Yeah.
case it is wet.
I have wheat fabric we can put down over there just to help keep more stuff out.
Yeah.
Perfect.
These truck centers donating their.
Donating time, labor, fuel, yes. Just want to make sure that we have approval from the board to go ahead and move it out of there.
I'll make a motion that we use in-house manpower and the donation from I-44 Towing and move the St. Clair Monument.
With a hold harmless.
Yes, they should have signed a hold harmless, correct?
I'll second.
Have a roll call, please.
Alderman Dean?
Aye.
Alderman Salmon? Aye. Alderman Sykes?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have new business. The St. Clair Historical Museum is requesting assistance in getting a sign for the museum.
We have some people here from the St. Clair Historical Museum.
for returning. My name's Glenn Alsop. I'm Vice President, St. Clair's Historical Museum Board. We have Carla Wolfer as our board president and Joe Schaefer, our treasurer. We're requesting assistance from the city to install a historical marker that has already been bought and paid for. We have all the pieces. And we have, it'll go up outside the Scenic Regional Library here in town. I have permission from the Scenic Regional Library if that needs to be added to the meeting record. We also have building permit, so that's all ready to go. This goes until December 3rd of this year. And this is the marker. This is this is what's going to go up. So the marker is ones that you see at national parks, state battlefields, and it'll go right outside the entrance of the library. So we just need assistance from the city to assemble and install it outside the library.
The board was given a picture of a similar monument, which is at the Battle of Lexington, Missouri State Historic Site. It's that design, and just so you can visualize what it's going to look like when it gets put up.
I have a smaller one if board members would like to pass it back and forth.
Yeah, they were also given a copy of that,
Okay.
of the text.
So you have the sign and all the hardware.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're wanting to help to put it together and install it?
Yes, ma'am.
The permit, so you've already seen, Mr. Sullivan, you've already seen where the sign's going?
Yes, yes, and it was approved. The permit has been issued.
So do you have all of the supplies needed? Like,
Yes.
obviously, the sign's probably gonna have to go into concrete, all of those things. So you have everything that's needed, you just need somebody that knows how to assemble the metal framework and dig the holes and put it in.
Yes. Came to that hard to put together. I mean, we can probably do it ourselves, but transporting from the museum to the library, just easier to assemble it there, I would think.
Do you remember who was the gentleman who helped us put signs up? Dave Heck?
Dave Heck, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he might want to assist on this?
You never know about Dave, so, I mean, he worked a phone call for sure.
I can put a call into him, and to see if he could help. And I guess the question here is that something that we can help with as well?
I mean, I guess it's up to this board if they want to use city employees on city time to install a sign for a private entity on private property. That would be at the discretion of this board, I assume.
I feel like that's really a very slippery slope. And I think it's very funny that there's a MIRMA rep sitting here when we're having this discussion. But I'm pretty sure that that's not going to be in our best interest. But I do think that between the board members and administration, we have lots of volunteers and people that are always willing to help. So I think that it's something definitely that, at least me personally, I'll get behind and I'll put some calls in. And if you, before you leave, give me a name, number, somebody that I can reach when I find somebody. One of us will reach out when we find a volunteer that will do it. And I know this community will make it happen. But I really don't feel comfortable